We're talking about the past and how that affects the future. So, welcome back to your weekly checkup. So, we've talked about the Spanish flu of 1918. We've also talked about how that is what we're seeing currently as far as immune system working better with people. But what we haven't mentioned is how technology is making it so we are absolutely crushing it with people getting the help they need. For instance, we started doing motion X-rays. Motion X-rays allow us to take a series of pictures while you're moving your spine, and when we do that, we're able to see what areas are stuck or subluxated, what areas are too loose. And so we had a young guy, he was having a lot of focus challenges, a lot of emotional trouble. And so we did a reassessment. He's been under care for a long time. We did a reassessment on him. And what we found was that there were 8 areas in his neck alone that weren't moving properly when he was moving his head. So that's a really big deal. And after we addressed that, so we worked pretty significantly on that for about 3 months. And once we addressed that, we re-x-rayed, and all 8 of those segments were completely unstuck. They were moving. It was fascinating. So
zero subluxations
zero
after the 3 months.
subluxations after the 3 months. So all 8 of the stuck segments were no longer stuck. So then what we found was he was in a car accident, and he came back in. We re-x-rayed.
The same day, right after he got out of the hospital, he came into the office.
Yeah, that's true. And we re-x-rayed, and there were 8 subluxations again in his neck. And fortunately, that doesn't happen very often. In other words, fortunately, we don't have a ton of people that get in accidents and then come in right then. And so that part's good. However, having that information and seeing how that affected him so extremely and so quickly really let us know why it's so important that you and your family are having your nervous systems checked. Now, admittedly, when we're doing x-rays, we're looking at the structure and function of the spine, but we're interested in that to the extent that it affects your nervous system, because your nervous system is the master controller of your body. So if we're not addressing your nervous system properly, then you're simply not going to work. You're not going to work well at all. And in some people, that's high blood pressure, and other people, that's migraines, and other people, that's, sleepless nights. Speaking of migraines, if you're listening to this live, we have a free migraine relief workshop. It's Thursday, June 19th. Arrival time is 5:45 p.m. and you can sign up for that at drlazar.com/migraines workshop. drlazar.com/migraines workshop. You also can text the word migraine to 734-274-5107. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back right after this. Welcome back to your weekly checkup. I'm Dr. Lazar in the studio with Jaden. We're talking about why you need to pay attention to the future of chiropractic. We're doing a migraines workshop live, or if you're listening to this live, excuse me, on June 19th, 5:45 p.m. is the arrival time for that, and that's at our office in Ann Arbor. We also have been really excited lately about how much help people are getting with our TRT, our stem cell um, device. It's one of the most riveting technologies I've ever seen. And we are excited about you being able to accelerate your healing as we're moving into the summer. You know, golf injuries, gardening injuries, those are big. And a lot of times we think that the reason we hurt so badly is because we've had too many birthdays. And the truth is, it's not about that at all. It's that our body is either in a degenerative or a regenerative cycle. And we can actually get it so that it's incredibly powerfully in a regenerative cycle. So we've got some really cool stuff going on with TRT through the end of the month. And we are just super excited to be able to share that with people. We're going to take a short break and we'll be back right after this. Welcome back to your weekly checkup. If you're listening live, we appreciate that. If you're on social, thank you for joining us there. We are doing a migraines workshop Thursday, June 19th, 5:45 p.m. arrival time in Ann Arbor. Text the word migraines to 734-274-5107, and we'll send you all the information you need for that. We also are excited about the TRT. If you've got sore knees, sore shoulders, sore backs, anything that you feel is keeping you from moving how you need to move, how you want to move, this is for you. And the results we're seeing with this are it's like turning back time in people's lives. We're seeing people who couldn't walk down the stairs, they can walk down the stairs now. People who couldn't put their shirt on because their shoulders were giving them so much trouble, they can dress themselves now. People that had so much neck trouble they couldn't even turn their head all the way, and after the very first session they start crying because it's so powerful. So we have a webinar on that as well, and if you're interested in that, I would really encourage you to check that out. You can see that webinar at any time at drlazar.com/TRT webinar. That's TRT for tissue regenerative technology, and then the word webinar. So that's really powerful. Check that out. Jaden, what is the most common body part you see? What body part with TRT do you see the best results for?
I would say knees were the first that came to my mind. But I would say knees, low back, and shoulders are the biggest. They're probably pretty equal for the amount that patients come in and ask for help with those and then get perfect results. I've yet to see somebody who does not respond well if they're following the prescribed treatment. for TRT. I don't really like to use the word treatment, but um, that's what makes that's the word that came to my mind.
Yeah, I mean, the idea is that in chiropractic, we don't treat anything. With TRT, it's tissue regenerative technology. And so what happens with that is we make it so the cells that are damaged become undamaged, and it's like a landscaping project. It cleans out the old landscaping ugliness, and it lays down new landscaping